So I'm sure we all know people that love to give unsolicited advice.
You in the past, I'm in the future. You mad?
Okay, so I had to switch fans because the ceiling fan sounded a little bit distracting. So I have on another fan so I don't pass out in here while I'm making this video. So I hope that it's not disturbing. But if you're new here, my name is Kela Trishaan and I make videos on lifestyle, womanhood, and mental health. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back and thank you for your support. Okay, so in today's video, I wanted to discuss unsolicited advice, like kind of how to navigate it, how to deal with it if it's something that continues to happen in your life. I know for me, I've had a lot of different situations where people have given me their opinions when I didn't necessarily ask for it. Now, in some cases, it may be information that is great, information that I actually need, but in a lot of cases, it's information that I don't need, I don't plan on using, and in some cases can be offensive. So if you are dealing with this, or if you know people that give unsolicited advice and you're just kind of looking for ways to navigate it, go on ahead and stay tuned. Okay, so my first tip in dealing with unsolicited advice is to look at who the advice is coming from. So what I mean is, for example, if my mom is giving me advice on something that I didn't necessarily ask her opinion on, I'm not going to be that offended because one, we don't have that type of relationship. My mother is very respectful towards me and my decisions. And when she is giving me information or advice, it's coming from a genuine place and she genuinely means well. Now, I have other people in my life that when they give advice, it may be like a backhanded jab or, just kind of like their way of telling me that they don't like what I'm doing. And so they think that it would be better if I do it that way, all that good stuff. So before I jump down the person's throat, or before I take it personally, I do like to really look at who is giving me that advice and analyze it, because in some cases it may not even be something that I'm going to address, and in some cases I don't even look at it as unsolicited advice. If it's somebody that is coming from a place where I value their opinion, then I don't really look at it as unsolicited advice. I just look at it as them listening to the problem or maybe seeing an issue that they feel they could help me on. But if it's somebody that does not have my best interest, or like I feel they don't have my best interest, then that's more when I'm gonna like possibly react. So look at who's giving you the advice and look at who is making the comments, and then kind of decide how you want to move forward from there. So my second tip kind of ties into number one, where you want to look at, is the person giving you this information out of love? Are they giving you this advice out of genuine concern? Are they giving you this advice from like a critical standpoint? Are they criticizing you and your decisions? So that for me can kind of determine how I handle it. Again, like I said in the first example, if it is somebody like my mother or like my sister or like a close friend that's giving me advice, I'm not gonna be offended because I know that they're not trying to criticize me. Even if they're telling me to do it a different way than what I had planned to do it or what I've done in the past, I know that they're not coming at me from a place of criticism. It's like they genuinely just want to make sure that I'm doing well and that I'm making the best decision for my life and all that good stuff. And they're just simply giving me their perspective. Now, if it's coming from a critical place, you can typically tell that, and people kind of have ways of showing their true colors, and I think a lot of times you feel that energy. So you'll know when somebody is coming from a critical place, or they're trying to make you feel bad or whatever, and those are situations that you would need to address, and you would handle them a little bit differently than obviously the first one. So listen to what they're saying, listen to the way they're delivering the information, and then make a decision. Like, are they coming at you from a place of like them actually caring, or are they trying to criticize you and make you feel bad or belittle you? So take that into consideration before you react on that unsolicited advice. So my third tip is you don't always have to react to the unsolicited advice. You can just take the information and move on. I think that a lot of times, like when we get this unsolicited advice, it can kind of throw us off, especially depending on who it's coming from, how close that person is to us, whether we want to impress them or not, things like that. You might take the information to heart and you might kind of look at it like, dang, am I doing something wrong or whatever? And you might feel like you need to react. I'm the type of person that if I feel like somebody is coming at me in a disrespectful manner, or if I feel like, honestly, like somebody is speaking on something that does not concern them, that they don't have enough knowledge on to even give me advice, my first reaction really is to snap. Not snap as in cuss them out, but snap as in like check them right away. I do have tact. Like, it's not something that, I'm just going to make somebody feel uncomfortable or I'm going to make a scene or anything like that. But I typically do keep those things in the back of my mind. And depending on the severity of the situation, I may want to address them later. But sometimes you don't even have to react. Like, people can say whatever they want, people can do whatever they want, but it's only given power if you give it power and if you give it emotion. So if it's something that you don't agree with and something that you don't feel is going to work for you, you just simply don't have to react. Like, you can yes somebody to death, change the subject or whatever, but you can just literally just listen and keep it pushing. Like, you don't feel threatened when people come at you with unsolicited advice. Again, you have the power to do whatever you want to do with your life. So let people talk, let people do what they're going to do, and then you keep doing you. Okay, so my fourth tip is, if you do in fact feel attacked, or if this person is a repeat offender, I do recommend addressing the situation head on and being direct, but when you are calm. The reason why I say to do it when you're calm is because depending on who the offender is, it may be somebody that's close to you or somebody who you don't necessarily want to have bad blood with. And so when you address something, when you, like, your emotions are high and you're still angry or on edge, you might say something that you didn't mean, or maybe you did mean, but you didn't mean to say it in that way. You're just not really able to articulate yourself the best when you are on edge. So my recommendation is to, stay calm, really think about and analyze first, is it even worth addressing this person? Is it somebody that you can put distance between? If it is somebody that is going to be around you all the time and that, again, is a repeat offender or is offending you, I do feel it's important to address those things head on, because in all honesty, sometimes people that are giving you this unsolicited advice, they may not even realize that you feel the way you feel. And if you just jump down their throat, you could potentially ruin a relationship where you don't want to do that. So make sure that you're calm and make sure that you are able to articulate how you feel to that person so you guys can get to an understanding, I should say. Like, I don't think that it is fair for anybody to take abuse or treatment or to feel attacked. But at the same time, just living, learning, being around a bunch of different people and dealing with a bunch of different personalities, sometimes people can say things that are offensive that they don't even realize are offensive, which is crazy, but it's true. So take a step back, take a deep breath, take yourself out of the situation if you need to, and then when you are able to articulate and come to that person and explain to them how what they said makes you feel, be direct, be descriptive, and be stern, and just set your boundaries, but in a way that's respectful so you guys can both move forward and not have these issues in the future. Okay, so my last and final tip is to just remember that people can say whatever they want. People can do whatever they want, but that has no bearing on what you end up doing. Like, they can give all the advice that they want to do, but it's ultimately up to you to take that advice. It is your life. Only you have walked in your shoes. Only you know the pros and cons of the outcome, and only you have the thought process that you have. So even if you are doing something that goes against the grain, that goes against what people think is normal, whatever, my thing is, as long as it's not hurting anybody, as long as you are not inflicting self-harm, more power to you. Like, there are a lot of times, I'm going to use my siblings as an example. I'm sure they feel the same way about me, but there are times where they make decisions and I'm just like, oh, okay. But they're grown. And again, as long as they are happy, healthy, they are doing something that, again, is not hurting others or not hurting themselves. If this is what you want to do with your life, by all means, go on ahead and do it. You live and you learn. I think too that when people give unsolicited advice, like, sometimes they're trying to protect you from maybe things that they went through in the past, or just they're trying to give you information so you don't make a mistake. But realistically, life is about making mistakes and doing what's best for you. So, like, what works for me may not work for the next person, and vice versa. So I think, as long as you kind of have that at the back of your mind, that even though this person is telling me I should do this, I make the ultimate decision on what I end up doing. So just take it in stride and keep it pushing. Okay, guys, so that is all I have for you today. In closing, I didn't want to make this video like too bitter or anything like that. A lot of it came from just me getting unsolicited advice all my life on different things. Some advice that I've gotten has even caused me to make decisions where if I could go back in time, I would have done what I had planned to do initially, as opposed to listening to whoever gave me the advice. Because some people can be very persuasive, some people can be very pushy with their information, and I think a lot of it too is just kind of you knowing yourself and knowing what's best for you. Know what's best for you so well that you're not deterred by anybody else's advice or anybody else's viewpoint. Now, I'm not saying not to listen to other people's viewpoint. I do think it is important to consult with people around you, like before you make a big decision. Maybe like if you're buying a house or something and you've never done that before, it would be cool to consult with people that have purchased property before, things like that, so you can kind of get an idea of everybody's experience before you go and make that big purchase, or whatever it is, like whether it be you deciding whether to go to a school in state or out of state, or deciding on a different career path. Those are things that I do feel you should maybe consult with people that have done it before, get their advice. But even if somebody is giving you advice that you didn't ask for, that goes against what you are wanting to do, it may not hurt to listen to what they're saying, but again, just kind of use those tips. Decide, who is this information coming from? Are they coming from a place of genuine love and concern, or are they coming from a place of criticism and, just trying to attack me? So think about things like that before you react, and just, again, always remember that you make the ultimate decision in your life. So if you enjoyed this video, please go on ahead and give me a big fat thumbs up. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you have not subscribed, please go on ahead and click that subscribe button below, and be sure to turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. With that being said, you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.
You in the past, I'm in the